Hi there, I'm Alex and welcome back to Ukes with Alex, the ukulele channel where we try and delve and explore in the farthest reaches of the ukulele and ukulele world and cultures. Just try and absorb as much information as we can along the way and grow in the process. You'll notice that we have a general chit chat quite often, but it's a fairly one-sided conversation as you guys are on the other side of that camera right there. So why don't you like the video, give the channel a subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the video and other videos that I've done in the past, and we can pick up the discussion that way. So today we're going to look at the ukulele that I've owned the longest, the one that I take for granted the most, an instrument that doesn't feel especially rare to me, but actually when I pick it up and play it, I'm always brought back to the time where I first got it and how inspiring that decision and the choices were. I am talking about my Kanile'a SUST. That's the sus tenor. Now, you're probably familiar with this model if you're subscribed to this channel, because working at the Southern Ukulele Store, I've done quite a few videos about this model in the past. But my one's a bit different to everyone else's, purely because mine was very much the prototype model. And as a result, you have that Alaskan rainbow cedar top, which if you look at the grain pattern, is just this really pencil stroke fine cedar. Very, very tight knit and runs vertically across the entire top of the instrument. You have mahogany backing sides, some really nice sapwood on this particular one, but the mahogany on these has been stained lighter and lighter and a slightly cherry red over the years. So this is what the early ones look like, a more kind of Pono-esque light brown mahogany. You have an ebony fingerboard and bridge with bridge pins. Ebony bridge pins there, and you have the sand inlays, one of my favourite features of Kanile'a ukuleles at the affordable end. And then finally up the top you have the ebony faceplate with the Kanile'a logo, and you might be thinking, well, that looks just ever so slightly strange, but you can't figure out why. Well, I'll tell you. So this ukulele has had the tuners modified over the last couple of years to feature hipshot open back tuners. And I did this after trying a Koaloha red label for the first time and just falling in love with how accurate and how easy to use those tuners were. I'd never seen them before on a ukulele, and they feel deluxe, they look deluxe. When you're looking at the back of my ukulele, please ignore those holes from where I took the old machine heads off, and hopefully you can fully appreciate just how how kind of Iron Man 2000-esque those cogs look. They're huge, and the turn ratio and just how smooth this tuner is, it's like butter, it's just perfect. And this has been my, well, 2020 aside for obvious reasons, this has been my main gigging instrument actually since I received it, which was in the late summer, early autumn of 2018. And the other feature about this ukulele that's unique to this particular sus-T is that it has a sound hole rosette. It's the only sus-T to have this sound hole rosette. At the prototype stage, you know, we tried that and it added quite a bit to the price, and we wanted to keep the instrument as affordable as possible. The idea being that this would be the same price or cheaper than a Kanile'a K1. For those unfamiliar with a Kanile'a K1, it's a solid koa Hawaiian standard tenor, and it's probably the most popular of the Hawaiian-made koa ukuleles, and certainly has been for the last 10 years plus while I've been selling them. So We were noticing around 2016, 2017 that more and more people were looking for and failing to find high-end options that were not made of koa. Now, flash forward 5 years, and we have quite a few options out there. Many of these brands have begun making spruce top models, or they're experimenting with woods like mango or redwood. But 5 years ago, this wasn't the case. And when we launched the SUS range in 2018, this really wasn't the case at all. So the SUS-T ticked boxes. You're probably wondering why we chose the cedar top and the mahogany back and sides combination, and it started with a conversation between Joe Souza and Rob, the owner at SUS, where we mentioned that there was a big gap in the market and people out there who were playing fingerstyle ukulele, inspired by players like James Hill, that wanted a bit more of a dynamic touch, something a bit more responsive and a bit less island sounding. And after going back and forth with a few different one-off models, eventually, between us, we settled on this combination. And it was the first project I was really heavily involved with, kind of collaboration with a brand at SUS, and really helped develop my own personal love for Kanile'a as a brand. Just fantastic people to deal with. This is one of the first Kanile'as to feature a satin neck as well. Before that, they were all gloss. In 2018, Kanile'a switched things up and they changed the combination, and this was one of the first ukulele models to have this. And just finally, one other thing I've done with this ukulele is I've added a Maasai pickup with a volume and tone. And that's why I take this uke for granted, because I filmed a Maasai ukulele video with this video. I filmed all of the string comparison videos for this channel with this ukulele, and yeah, I just cannot get enough of this instrument. But at the same time, I have a dilemma, because the Monaco ukulele that was launched last year and came to me has slowly replace this instrument. So I'm debating whether it's time to put a pickup in the Monaco, or whether I just keep going back out on the road now I'm going to be gigging again with this ukulele. Let me know in the comment section which you would do. Yeah, one more thing to note is that this ukulele has been the experimental tool over the years of a few things. For example, when we got a buffer at the Southern Ukulele Store, we used the buffer for the first time, and we learned to use the buffer on Kanile'a's UV gloss using my ukulele. So the finish on this instrument is absolutely fantastic, despite being really, really well played. There are a few dings in the top and signs of life and love, and that's really, for me, that's an important thing to show that you really care and love about an instrument, is that you kind of love it, warts and all. I know a lot of people get very upset about dings and scrapes, but personally they've always added, that patina's always added to the vibe of a ukulele for me. Yeah, so I'm just showing this ukulele off at the request of somebody on my Patreon this week, and I didn't realise I hadn't made a video about it before. This is the prototype Kanile'a SUS-T from 2018. I'm going to give it a play and see what you think. Thanks for watching, folks. So that's the SUST, or actually technically the code inside the sound hole is the SUSRT for the Rosette tenor. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments section. If you enjoyed the fingerstyle piece I played earlier, that one, I am in the process of filming an advanced and intermediate level fingerstyle course that I'll be launching later in the year, so do keep an eye on the channel for that. Please subscribe, like the video, and I would be incredibly grateful if you checked out my Patreon, patreon.com/ukeswithalec, or if you don't feel like doing that, there's also a PayPal tip jar in the description for the video. I'm Alex, have a great week, and I will see you very, very soon.